Hey everyone, it's Joe Frick, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about what's called a statute of limitations. Every state has a time frame or a deadline that you have to meet from the date of the car crash or the wrongful death if you're involved in a car crash or negligence or some other personal injury. Now, the statute of limitation is a deadline, and most of the time, generally speaking, the timeline starts to run from the date of the car crash or the date of the negligence. Um, in most states, well, in the states that I practice in Idaho and Kansas, the statute of limitations is 2 years. So you have 2 years from the date of the crash to the date 2 years from then to file an action with the court system. Um, Ideally, you're going to have your case settled with the insurance company within that 2 year time frame. But if not, you have to make that 2 year deadline. Otherwise, you can't pursue any personal injury action against the person that hit you or hurt you due to negligence after that 2 year mark in Idaho and Kansas. Now, I also practice in Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming. Now, in Montana, the statute of limitations is 3 years. So you have 3 years from the day of the crash or the injury to file an action with a court case, or you're pretty much out of luck and you can't file a personal injury action against the person that caused your injuries. Now, in Wyoming, it's longer. You have 4 years in Wyoming for personal injuries. Now, if we're dealing with a wrongful death case, we're talking about a statute of limitations of 2 years. So if if your loved ones have passed away due to somebody else's negligence, you only have 2 years to file an action with the court. Otherwise, your claim's barred. Now, North Dakota also has that 2 year mark for the wrongful death cases, but they have a 6 year deadline for personal injuries. So those are the time frames that you need to file an action with the court. Otherwise, your claim's going to be barred in those states. Like I said, in Idaho and Kansas, it's 2 years from the day of the crash. In Montana, it's 3 years. Wyoming, it's 4 years. In North Dakota, it's 6 years. So those are the timelines that you need to keep in mind. Now, I'm not saying that you should wait until the very last minute to file an action. It's always best to either start the process early to get all your ducks in a row, because if you're budging up on that 2 year mark before you file an action and you're trying to get an attorney involved, a lot of attorneys will not get involved if you're running up against that deadline with whatever state you're in. 2 years in Idaho. If you're in Wyoming, it's 4, and North Dakota, it's 6. So if you're running up against that time deadline before your action's barred, a lot of attorneys won't even discuss the case with you because they're running the risk of committing malpractice because they didn't investigate the case good enough before they file an action with the court. Now, so be very mindful about the statute of limitations and the deadline. If you think you're running up close to that deadline, most attorneys need at least 6 months to review medical records, the accident reports, the pictures, and get pretty much all their ducks in a row to do their due diligence as far as investigating a case before they can file an action with the court system. Now, if you get an attorney involved before that, they'll have a lot more time to analyze the case and potentially get the case settled before you even have to go to court or file an action with the court and serve the person that caused your injuries. So, again, the key points for today are deadlines. Always keep the deadlines in mind when you're dealing with personal injuries. Idaho and Kansas, you're talking about 2 days from the date of your injury. Montana, it's 3. Wyoming, it's 4. North Dakota, it's 6. Now, in Wyoming and North Dakota, it's 2 years for a wrongful death claim. So keep in mind those deadlines when you get in a car crash or somebody caused personal injuries. Thank you.